Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
The Lauren and Zoey Show.
Today we're going to be sharing with you guys how to change your body using your mind.
As you know, we love to talk about how your thoughts create your reality, and this actually includes how your thoughts actually manifest on your body and how you can change your appearance.
So without further ado, here is episode number 3. I'm Lo.
And I'm Zoe, and this is
The Lo and Zoe Show. We're coaches and entrepreneurs who firmly believe that an abundant mind is the key to an abundant life.
On this podcast, we're going to be talking everything from how to manifest more money, travel, success in business, and beyond,
to overcoming the blocks that are holding you back,
to rewiring your brain so you can easily attract whatever it is you want the most in life.
If you haven't already, be sure to join us inside our Facebook community, the Queen Mind Tribe, for daily tips, mindset hacks, manifesting tricks, and more that'll allow you to build the confidence you need
to manifest the abundant AF life you deserve.
Now let's get started. Hey guys, so today we're talking about something that both Zoe and I have a lot of experience in and that we know is so impactful for people in terms of understanding just how much power you have over your health and that you're really not a victim to anything in regards to your body. It's something that you can change and manifest the same way that you can manifest results in any other area of your life. So this is something that both Zoe and I have a lot of experience in terms of just changing different things about our body, whether or not that had to do with something more physical or something more health-based. So we both have some different stories, but I don't know if you want to start with an area of your health or your body that you have consciously changed through changing your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. I'll start with my skin because I feel like that's the first place where I began to understand that my thoughts actually were creating my reality, including within my body. Because prior to that, I was just into law of attraction and thought it was very much about the outside world and couldn't really change anything on my body. But what happened was I was faced with a very traumatic for me breakout in my mid-20s because it was super unexpected. I never struggled with skin to that extent, and I just couldn't really understand why in my mid-20s I was faced with such a breakout. It caused a decrease in my self-esteem and my self-confidence because I was just so focused on my face and this breakout that was occurring out of nowhere that I couldn't really pinpoint. And so what happened for me was each time in the morning I noticed that when I was washing my face or in the shower and I was putting my hands on my skin, I was just so appalled about what I was feeling because it was so foreign to me. I was normally used to brushing like soft cheeks, and then there was just so many bumps all over my skin. Yeah. And it was difficult. Like I said, emotionally, I didn't really want to go out. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I felt like I was just caking on makeup. I was looking at myself and squeezing all these little bumps and just really struggling.
And what do you think, just to ask, what do you think you started writing in terms of the story about your skin? Like, what were you directing at it once you had this breakout in terms of the affirmations you had about your skin just by default?
Yeah, so by default, the affirmation was, it's getting worse. Right. It's getting worse. I can't fix this. Yes. I'd be in the mirror picking at it, wondering why it wasn't getting better and just feeling so devastated and angry at my skin, really. Yeah. And then I just decided, why don't I just try as an experiment to try to use law of attraction on my skin? So I started using the practice, which was very resistant at first when I was washing my face in the shower or like in the morning, and I was rubbing my hands on my skin. Instead of having those angry emotions come up, I decided to write the new story of my skin is healing. It's getting better and better every single day. And I'm telling you, my skin transforms so fast, you guys. And if you knew this breakout, witnessed this breakout, I actually did do a YouTube video on it where I actually showed photos of how bad this was at one point. I no longer had any scars or redness on my face from this crazy breakout that I experienced mid-20s.
Yeah. And that's just the body's natural ability to heal itself, so long as you expect that and so long as you believe that, right? It's all about what you believe in terms of your body and then what you are affirming. So I'm glad what you said about, it's not like, who knows how you attracted the breakout in the first place. It might have just been that you were under a lot of stress, and so we typically tend to attract things that are unwanted just because we're not being intentional about it. And then you start to get more specific about your affirmations, what you are feeding your skin in terms of the thoughts that you're thinking, right? And this is where it just gets like worse and worse and worse. I also remember you telling me a story about you still talk about growing your hair. Which I love.
Yeah, this is just another example, a different example.
It's totally real too. Yeah.
Not necessarily healing anything, but I always had this story growing up that my hair wouldn't really grow much longer past my shoulders. Yeah. And then I moved to Italy. I broke my my hair dryer and my hair straightener blew up in the socket. So I was like, okay, maybe this is my time to actually just like get my hair feeling super healthy, and maybe it will grow long. I decided maybe that's a new possibility for me. And so I decided now my hair is going to grow long. And then this summer I decided now I'm going to have long, luscious mermaid hair. And it's just something I consciously think about every day. Like, you can use the practice every day when you're in the shower, when you're touching your hair, or when you're touching your skin. These are things that you guys can just start applying right now.
I love the way you ask the universe for long, luscious mermaid locks, too.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
I said long, luscious mermaid locks, pronto, por favore. like right now, please, universe. Like, I'm ready to accept this.
This is how Zoe manifests whatever. She's like, hello, I would like this, please, thank you. And then she gets it. It's amazing.
I literally do talk to the universe like that every
No,
day.
I think it's so great. That's why it works for you, because you're just like, okay, the order is in. I don't have to worry about it now.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, this is such an interesting topic, and I have quite a bit of experience with it in other areas that I'm going to touch on, but it's such an interesting topic because we live in this very victim mentality, society around our health, around our bodies, where essentially the whole world, and especially the health industry, wants you to believe that you're out of control. You're not in control of your health.
Mm-hmm.
You can make specific decisions around what you're eating and how you move your body, and that's going to help. But you're sort of predetermined in terms of what you're going to manifest in the way of illness and things like that. And I personally really don't believe that, or I don't believe that we don't have any control, right? And I think that it's almost like it's just a very convenient way of thinking about for this is sort of like conspiracy theory, but in terms of big pharma or whatever, they want us to believe that we don't have control over our bodies or our health, and that we are at the effect of whatever it is that our parents dealt with or whatever it is that runs in the family. And I remember hearing a Abraham Hicks quote where she talked about how it's not that if diabetes runs in the family that you're destined to get diabetes. You may be more susceptible to it, but it's more the fact that you just start telling the story and expecting to get diabetes. Yeah. And therefore it manifests for
exactly,
you, right?
Because what you expect will manifest.
Exactly.
Because you are intending it.
Exactly.
Whether or not you're voicing that out loud, but you are in your mind reaffirming to yourself, like, that's in the cards for me.
Exactly. And I sometimes wonder, because I've had sort of my story with this is around joint pain that I started experiencing like 6 or 7 years ago. And it was the reason that I ended up going vegan.
But Laura,
yes.
Stop. Tell them how bad it was.
I try not to feed too much energy into it, but it has been at times, off and on, very, very debilitating. Like not being able to get out of bed in the morning, not being able to lift even a plate with my hand, not being able to hold a hairbrush or turn a doorknob. And it's scary. And my most recent episode, which was just when I moved to Toronto, I had a month of every day was a different joint, and I haven't had it be that bad since going vegan such a long time ago. It started manifesting in the left side of my jaw, and it was hard to eat, and just and just feeling like an 80-year-old in my 31-year-old body in the morning. And it's really kind of scary to think about, but at the same time, I really believe that our thoughts create our reality and that it's something that I can shift. And I have in the past, and I actually believe when it first started happening and I went vegan, I did a whole bunch of research and I found a vegan diet, and I really believed that was going to work for me after 6 months. I mean, I did not give up animal products easily back then. Now I have zero desire for them, but I was not someone that ever saw myself going vegan. But I did a lot of research and decided that it was something I had to try. I really believed it was going to work, and it did. And it wasn't until I got into all the mindset and manifestation stuff that I realized I honestly think it was the vegan diet was just the placebo. It was that I believed it was going to work. I believed that it was going to get better, and it totally did. And it, for the most part, stayed better, and it would just flare up here and there every few months. And so I didn't really worry about it too much. And it wasn't until for some reason, I moved back to Toronto, and maybe it was just that it was the first time I'd been really settled in quite a long time, that it just kind of all came in at once. But I really was struggling with it just a couple of months ago. And specifically, 3-4 weeks ago, I realized I'm just affirming all these things about this, and I'm talking to people about it, about how much pain I'm in, and I'm talking about how disempowered I feel and how frustrating it is because I'm eating quite clean and I don't know what's causing this, and is it the humidity, and just looking for all these things that I could hopefully pin it on, even with everything that I know. And finally, it was a friend of mine who just said, it's just the way that you're talking about it. It's just the way that you're expecting it to be getting worse, and so it is. And so I started subconsciously telling a new story about my health and about my body. And it was one of appreciation and one of, I know that my body is able to heal itself no matter what. And just by me intending that, it's happening, right? And I effortlessly choose the foods that are going to complement whatever it is that I am intending for my body. And I just appreciate that my body's always been here for me, right? Like just changing rather than looking in the mirror, being unhappy, being hard on my joints, mad at my body for the way that it was feeling and just feeling very powerless about it, finding a place of appreciation and practicing that, right? We've said on this podcast, it's all about practice. It's all about...
So when did you practice?
I have a friend of mine who we do this similar work to what Zoe and I do together in terms of our mindset. We actually have a Facebook group where we just talk about the story that we're telling. And this was the area that I chose to focus on, was telling a new story about my body. And so I go in there each day and I just affirm 10 things that are aligned with health, 10 things that are aligned with vitality, 10 things that are aligned with the expectation of getting better and feeling better. And honestly, it was like a week and a half in when the pain just more or less disappeared. It's so minimal at this point where like when I wake up, I might have some stiffness in one of my wrists and it goes away. But I'm only really 3 weeks into this change, and I fully intend on just completely eradicating this once and for all. And I do really believe that we can do that. And this is where like Dr. Joe comes in again and talks about how you can really change like your DNA, right?
Yeah.
Like you can change what is manifesting for you in terms of your body by, and actually I was telling Zoe an example of this about a woman who had multiple personality disorder, and one of her personalities had diabetes. And when she was in that personality, doctors could literally find evidence for diabetes, and then she would just overnight switch into the other personality and the diabetes would completely disappear. And it was about like her identity in each of those personalities, and the one identified with diabetes and the other didn't.
Yeah, and this comes from Dr. Joe Dispenza. So that's who Laura and I often reference. But if you guys are interested more in this topic, there's a really incredible book called You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe, which that example is from, if I'm correct.
Yes, there's actually a ton of examples in that book. The
first half of the book or more is all of these examples, all different streams. So people have actually killed themselves by believing that they were ill when truly they weren't. And after they died, they realized there was nothing wrong with them.
Yes.
And or people have caused themselves to become so ill.
Yes.
So ill.
Yes.
And you've heard about the placebo effect, I'm sure, before. There's many cases that people were taking sugar pills or taking saline, all these types of things. But if you really want more examples of this and just to truly ingrain that belief in yourself, then read Dr. Joe's book.
Yeah, there's a great documentary as well. I think Dr. Joe was actually in it. It's called Heal. It's on Netflix, and it's the same. It's the mind-body connection about how it's really about what you expect, and even food. I mean, we all know people that eat a ton of junk food and yet are like the picture of health, and it's just about what they are believing about that food.
Exactly.
And like that's actually been proven that the energy you feed into the food affects the way your body processes it.
Yeah, and I do remember a common question a lot of people ask me upon moving to Italy is, how do you not gain weight eating pasta and pizza every day?
I got that too.
Because I ate that every single day, you guys, for 3 years. If you go to the grocery stores there, you're eating pasta.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Yeah.
And my life prior to that, I never ate pasta. It was like a special food that I would have maybe when I went out for a nice dinner.
Yeah.
But after moving to Italy, I decided I'm actually not going to gain weight. I'm going to live my best life, and I'm going to eat quality food, quality ingredients, whatever I wanted, how much I wanted, and I actually lost weight.
Yeah, I actually wrote a book called Dream Body, all about how to start aligning yourself with the body of your dreams and how it really just is about what you're thinking. And of course, like eating healthy and exercising helps, but only, again, it's a placebo as well. If you believe that through exercising you're going to lose weight, then you will. And for most of us, that's like a subconscious thing that we believe, right? So we're not saying like, oh, just sit around and eat junk food all day and don't exercise and expect to lose weight. It is possible. possible, but it's more likely that there's going to be some action required in order for you to believe. But,
and of course, when you do work out, you release those chemicals in your brain that support you feeling uplifted and positive and confident about yourself.
Yes, totally. But it 100% is possible. And this is the same reason why you see people who are really, really restricting their calories and working out like crazy and not losing weight, because they're too focused on the way their body is that they're not happy about.
Exactly.
Right?
Or people believe they're stuck in the plateau.
Exactly.
And really they're just stuck in their own minds.
Right. Exactly. And so they're working out like crazy, but on a deeper level, they're not actually, what they're saying and intending for themselves without really noticing it or knowing it is, I'm never able to lose weight, or like this isn't going to work because it never has. I can't stick with this, whatever it is, right? So people are intending that, and their actions it can't override the expectation or the mindset, the alignment or lack thereof. So yeah, this is just like such an interesting topic. You can lose weight. I fully believe you can make physical changes to your appearance. Same with like not aging or aging less. It's all about what you are expecting, what you're noticing about yourself. And we're not saying that, if you have joint pain like me, or you have bad skin, that you like intentionally manifested that. Of course not. Like, who knows where it originates. I think for me, because I had a lifetime of feeding such negativity into my body, that of course it manifested as a physical ailment for me. And, maybe for some of us, we attract it as an experience. Like, that was really the beginning of me waking up to just possibility, to a more progressive way of thinking, to being very open-minded, because I went vegan and it just totally changed my life. I found spirituality not that much later through being open-minded as that result. So, I mean, I feel that I probably manifested that experience for a couple of reasons, and one of them being that it was just part of my path to get me to where I am now, right? So I wouldn't even change it if I could. So we're not saying be hard on yourself if you have something that you don't want and that you've manifested. We're just saying realize that you're not a victim to it and you can change it.
Yeah. Choose a new story today.
Yeah.
What in your body or on your body are you not happy with? And choose a new thought.
Yes.
Choose a new reality and take the time to practice that.
Yeah. And just start. I mean, you don't have to say, oh, I love my thin, beautiful body if you're in a lot of resistance about your weight at the moment, but you can find things to appreciate, right? It's just about thinking thoughts that are aligned with the desired manifestation.
Exactly.
Right?
One simple thing that I do each morning is when I put on my body lotion, I just take the time to just, as I'm rubbing it like on my arms, on my legs, I'm just like, I love you. Like, you take me from point A to D. I just practice the gratitude because it's something that I do every single day. Like it was washing my face or shampooing my hair in the shower, but just start to feed more positive thoughts into your body and just watch what happens.
Amazing. I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys. We'll see you next episode.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. Thank you guys so much for spending a piece of your day with us and tuning into the Lauren and Zoey Show.
If you enjoyed this episode, please take the time to rate it and share on social media. Be sure to tag us.
Until next time,
stay abundant.